Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome to the finale of the Glitched Magikarp Run. In today's final episode, we'll be facing the 5 remaining gym leaders and breezing through the Elite Four to become champion. First, we must defeat our rival, the Tree. No, our rival in this run is not Gary, it is Tree. But thankfully, we have an HM greater than that of Cut, HM Cancel, which allows us to go right through trees. I explained how cancel works in the last video, but basically, it's pretty easy to explain. The cancel button in your glitchy item menu will allow you to go through walls up to 2 layers thick. We're going to be using it once again, so you got to face the opposite direction, go into your item menu, and hit cancel. If you hit like the real cancel button, it won't work like this, but the fake cancel buttons, they all do this. They might be called something else. They used to be called Jack, the rival's name. So the name isn't as important as the effect they cause. Now, we have to face this beauty, and the strategy against her is just intense. I mean, look at this strategy. Can't believe I won that one. That was a close call. But Erica actually is tough, and I'm not being facetious here. Erica, because she's the grass-type Pokemon trainer, has, type advantage, but also she uses fully evolved Pokemon. So I don't set up against Victory Bell because Victory Bell, as you can see, can do quite significant damage even to a level 100 Magikarp. Now, Tangela, I'm going to set up a little bit against. Truth be told, if I had used some Calciums, which I didn't choose to do at the beginning, I'm not really sure why. I had the money for it. I think I forgot. Anyway, it would have helped out, but what can you do? So I thought 2 X attacks would be enough to finish off Vileplume, but it gets off of Petal Dance, gets a crit, but Godcarp, well, it's just too godly. What can you say? This thing is just a tank. And a sweeper. It is like an all-in-one Pokemon. I mean, how no one else has done this run before with this absolute god of a Pokemon? I don't know. I just don't know, man. Anyway, we're not going to be going back to the Pokemon Center because Magikarp is just too awesome. We're going to be going back down and looking for Ultra Ball Zero. I talked about this a lot in the last video, but if you find Ultra Ball Zero and count 4 down. Now, sometimes in some buildings, some of the items will spawn glitchy text. So you have to press B to get through the glitchy text, but if you press B too many times, you just close the item menu. So it can be a little frustrating, but just drop 1 item this time, and you'll end up in Vermilion right by the SSN. But we don't need to get cut. We got our good old HM Cancel. Now, facing Lieutenant Surge with 7 health might not have been the best idea. Thankfully, you'll see I'm going to reconsider, which allows me time to talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing. So Lieutenant Surge, usually you have to use all these trash cans, and it's really frustrating, and they actually aren't programmed properly. So like the second trash can can always be in the top right. It's ridiculous. But thankfully, with HM Cancel, we don't got to worry about that. But Lieutenant Surge's Pokemon also have Quick Attack, so at least Pikachu does. So, I think he does. I don't actually know. And nor do I know if it's a female or male Pikachu, truth be told. But healing is not a bad idea. The other good part about healing in Pokemon Centers, like normally, is that when you faint, instead of going to like a glitchy Pokemon Center, you actually go to real Pokemon Centers, which is pretty cool. If you would have fainted, when we went to the Elite Four Pokemon Center in the second part, if you would faint there, you would go to a glitchy Pokemon Center that you can't escape from. So that's why you save. This part of the run is a lot less stressful. I know that if I faint or something, it's not like run over. So that's always good. But like I said, we're going to cancel right through those annoying doors, take that garbage can puzzle, and we're going to face Lieutenant Surge, whose voice in the anime sounds nothing like it should. He sounds like, kind of like a dumb muscle man type of guy when he's supposed to be like this fearsome army general. Anyway, Magikarp is pretty good at this point. I mean, I'm facing a level 18 Pikachu and a level 20 or something Raichu, 24. So yeah, I mean, none of them use Quick Attack, but I didn't want to risk it. And I don't even know if they would have KO'd if they did use it, but again, didn't want to risk it. And that is the 4th last gym leader. So you can see we're kind of going in reverse order. So the reason why we're going in reverse order is because we started off with a stack of 255 and we keep decreasing from it. And basically, I just went to the location with the highest index number first. That's what we're doing when we're warping, by the way. We're setting the index number to what we want it to be. The reason we're not going from gym to gym is just because it's really hard to get from Fuchsia's gym to anywhere in Celadon, like anywhere except for the Pokemon Center. And at this point, if you toss one, by the way, you'll be in Lavender. That was a mistake, but now we can say we've been to Lavender Town. And if you toss another one, you'll actually be right at Cerulean Gym. So that's pretty good. So, all right, at the Cerulean Gym, I actually show off how many badges I have, just so you know that I have in fact collected all the badges. I'm not saving and quitting. This is a continuous run, although I did faint at Koga, but I redid everything. So it counts. And basically, funny enough, the Koga battle that you didn't see, I ended it with 7 health, so it's pretty funny. He always made it close. Now, Misty, at this point, I have really little to say because the gym leaders are just so easy. It's so funny that, like, the first gym leaders you fight are just so difficult, and then you get to Misty and it's, like, ridiculously easy. But even with Starmie, you don't take it down in one hit. That was kind of jarring to me, like, oh my god. You know, I'm level 100 and I can't even take down a level 18 Starmie. That's pretty nuts. But we only have 2 gyms left, so once again, we're going to stand on the door, and we're going to drop one more Master Ball. So, again, you're going to look for Ultra Ball 0. It'll be the I think it's actually the 31st item. And so there's X Attacks, HM4s, Town Map, and Master Ball. And so we are now in Pewter. Funny enough, that guy who we used to Brock through Rawls gets to tell you to go visit Brock. I find that really funny. His text pops up the next time you head back to Pewter. But Brock is actually really, really, really easy. And if you did Brock first, like if you tried to do this glitchless, it would be insanely difficult. Because, you know, Magikarp just knows Tackle. And can you imagine like a level like 15 Magikarp trying to get through Onix? Like, even at, actually I got a crit there. But even at level 100, it took 2 hits. I guess it's because Geodude got a defense curl off, but still. Anyway, I defeat Brock rather easily, and now it's time to head to Giovanni. So stand on the door, and this will be our second to last warp, because we're going to have to become champion, of course. And I'll show you how we're going to do that. That's an interesting thing. So, the Master Balls are kind of in a glitchy... Oh, no, sorry. The J's are kind of in a glitchy state, but we are right at Viridian, not Vermilion. I always mixed those two up when I was a kid as well. And in this gym, we're going to use Cancel one last time. So the best way to tackle this gym is to take this weird spinny thing, and then take this weird spinny thing, and, you know, this guy won't see you. Use him to sort of orient yourself, and then go up to the Cancel button, and just use it like you did the last 2 times, and look at that. We are right at Giovanni. So I'm going to save in front of Giovanni, because he can be impossible. He can also be really easy, but I'm not going to tell you which one I got. Anyway, we lead with Magikarp, and we're going to be facing a lot of rock Pokemon, so we're going to want to use all 6 X attacks so that our Magikarp is maxed out in attack. Now, nowadays, you only would have to use 3, funny enough, but back then you had to use 6. Anyway, I actually used 1 extra, and if you just noticed it used Horn Drill and it failed, that's because in Generation 1, 1-hit KO moves will never hit if you're faster than the opponent. I don't know if that's still the case. I never really used 1-hit KO moves, but I know that's the case in Gen 1. Funny enough, though, if you use like an X accuracy and obviously an X speed to outspeed them, you'll actually hit every time, and that's how speedrunners, like glitchless speedrunners, beat Red and Blue so quickly. With Nidoking! There we are, with Nidoking. So, our last Pokemon is Rhydon, and even with max attack, you're doing like a 1/6 of its health. More like, maybe actually more like a 1/4. But that's still not, you know, a lot of health. Okay, less than a 1/4. But I use Splash there just because I haven't used Splash like the whole run. So what's a Magikarp run without using Splash? Rhydon uses Stomp, and that is the final gym. We have beaten all 8 gyms with just Magikarp. And like every glitch that we could use in Red and Blue. Not every glitch. There's still tons of glitches we didn't exploit, but a whole lot of them. Anyway, I don't feel like this run is complete yet. I mean, yeah, I did say we were trying to beat all 8 gyms, but you know what? Let's become champion. Unfortunately, I mentioned this in the first part, we have a bit of a problem. How are we going to get past Agatha's Ghosts? Well, Psychic is actually quite strong against Ghosts, so let's go to Ultra Ball 0 and put Psychic where the Master Balls are. And you know what? We have too many of them. Like, I can't even read that number. So I don't know. Let's drop, what do we want to drop? You know what? I'll just throw out a random number here. 137. I mean, you know, it's pretty much as good a number as any, right? So let's just drop 137, and then I guarantee you Magikarp will be able to be in the Hall of Fame. I promise you. You know, Agatha won't even know how to stop us once we use Psychic. So let's throw them all away, and let's... Oh no, I broke the game! No, I'm kidding. So yeah, we're in the Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, because we can't really warp here, the Hall of Fame is all glitched out. But thankfully, unlike many other rooms, the actual Hall of Fame still loads, and we are now champions. So yeah, as you might have guessed, that was another warp. I believe it's room 118. Yeah, that makes sense. Room 118 is the champions room. So we just loaded that by dropping a certain number of TM29s. That was, I think, one of the higher numbers, so it didn't make sense to go there like third. The game would just be over. So I needed that second stack of TM29s, so I duplicated them earlier. And yeah, thank you for watching. These are the credits to Pokemon Red. I'm planning to do a few more of these runs, maybe in Gold and Silver, Red and Blue. I would do them in pretty much any generation. I just don't want them to take too long. Like, I feel like this was a good amount of time for a run. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, there are plenty more glitches in Red and Blue. This is not, you know, I've gotten so many nice comments about this run. Like, thanks so much. I've planned this since I was 8. I always wanted to beat the game with Magikarp. And sure, we had to use like a bunch of glitches, but it was pretty fun. So thank you for watching and take care.